Okay guys, so last week you explored the catacombs of this Temple of KELEMVOR, and you kind of went through a lot of the different rooms, didn't you? You fought against some undead, you kind of figured out more about what's actually been happening here. You found like a dormitory, and we ended the session with you guys being in this I think it was like a tomb, or like a series of tombs, right? A crypt. Yeah, that's the word, a crypt. And it's a crypt for like less important burials, mainly just like servants and priests of the crypt, of the temple itself. And we kind of ended the session with you guys opening up some of the doors in this crypt, finding a bit of treasure, but also finding undead as well. The one thing I will say, obviously you weren't here for the last session, Alistair. To the south, the actual entryway is blocked off by like a force field. Like a force field barrier that seems to have been set up by a rival spellcaster, but you managed to like punch a hole in it with magic missile.
That's awesome.
So just to kind of let you know, and that's kind of where we stand right now, guys. So Samuel is, just lifting his sword from the corpse of one of these creatures that you guys have just managed to slay. 3 of these undead priests kind of leapt out from their crypts and attacked you guys. So let's get back into a turn order. Click on your tokens to roll initiative for me, please.
We're not on the map.
Oh shit. Good shout. There you go. 17 for Alistair. Norman is 11. I'll do a roll for Duncan as well, just so we have it on the tracker, and obviously one for Samuel too. All right, good stuff. Alright, so Alistair, you're up first. The players have not explored the northern archways that kind of lead back into what you appear to be a corridor or something. The only place, this is the furthest you've been.
Okay, and we have come down from the south?
Yes.
Through the barrier?
1 second. Hey Siri, set a timer for 1 hour. Cool.
I also see there's this little timer icon on my token.
Yes. I'm trying to remember what I had you do. I mean, I imagine it was a focus spell, right?
Yeah, probably.
Would have probably been protection. Oh no, I did. It was detect magic. It was detect magic, and I succeeded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
feel free to
since
speak to the other players if you want to kind of figure out what you want to do.
Yes. Do we have any reason to suspect there might be more behind these doors, or do we wish to press on?
I feel like we've looked in enough doors here. I mean, there's probably treasure behind a few of them here. I don't know. It's a bit of a gamble.
I would seek counsel from Sir Samuel.
Yeah, so you all turn to Sir Samuel, and Sir Samuel kind of shakes his head and says, "We need to keep moving. We're not here to take care of these priests. We're here to take down the Necromancer. Cut the head off a snake, and the body will stop moving.
Well, that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Alright. So be aware, guys, you're on a 1 hour torch timer now. Yeah,
Alright, but
the session has started. So feel free to start moving your tokens and tell me what you guys want to do.
Yes, well, I want to start moving in this direction, but I won't go too far yet until Duncan with the torch will go there as well.
Sure. Isabel?
I'm just gonna move up to this side. And
Norman.
do my turn.
Norman's gonna move up here.
Duncan's gonna step through and out and shine some light. So Samuel kind of coming in at the rear. And he says, "There are statues here. Right here." And he kind of points to the left. As it's your turn, Alistair.
I want to take a closer look at the first statue, trying to see if it's if I can recognize who the statue is trying to portray.
Yeah, so each of the statues has a plaque with a name of a knight. And the one that you're looking at right now is Sir Henry. And you get the impression that each of the people depicted here, 3 men and a woman, are heroes. You know, basically heroes who served KELEMVOR. You look on the wall. There's a banner, like an actual banner, like a linen banner, symbol of KELEMVOR on the northern wall. But there's also a silver shield that's on the wall as well, and it's kind of adorned with the crest of a roaring lion. This appears to be a gallery, Alistair.
Okay, I would like to investigate that shield if I can.
You can only just make it out from this distance, and the light is kind of just reflecting, and it looks very pretty, but it's still very dark in that side of the room. But for sake of purpose, guys, you want to all move into the room, and if any of you, obviously Alistair, we know what Alistair's looking to do. If any of you guys have anything you want to do, let me know. So Alistair, you look at the shield, and it's clearly of good craft. You're not much of a blacksmith, but you know a good shield when you see it. More importantly, you get the impression that it may be magical.
Okay, I would definitely like to look further into that, to try to discern its magical properties.
Yeah, you don't Shadowdark doesn't have identify, does it? You just kind of know what the items are when you find them. At least that's the impression that I've got from reading the book. So you look it over, and yeah, it's a magical shield. This is what it does, guys. Shield of Valor, okay, spelled the British way. Roaring lion motif. It's got a +1 armor bonus, and once per day you gain advantage on all attacks for 3 rounds. Pretty cool.
Okay, in that case, I remove the shield from the wall and hold it up towards our more martially inclined companions.
I'll take it for now.
Okay, then I hand it over to Isabel.
Alrighty. That mine, guys, that is 3 experience points.
That would
Finding that shield.
mean level 3 for me.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Do we level right away or when we take a rest?
You level right away, at least in this game, but I think when we start a new game in the future, it'll be like when you get back to town. That's when I'll level you up, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I can roll my hit points and talent.
Talent, yeah.
Alright, hit points first. Very nice. My current hit points don't automatically go up, right?
Your what, sorry?
My
your
current hit
current,
points
no,
don't...
it doesn't. It doesn't. no.
Alright. And that's a 9 for the talent. Advantage on casting one spell.
Anything any of you guys want to do whilst you're in this room? Whilst he's rolling his dice and sorting things out? Guys, when I ask you a question, I want like a yes or no.
I was filling things out.
Yeah,
Pardon?
I think I'm good. I'm gonna kind of wave Duncan to come up a little further so we can see the back wall here.
Yeah, so there's like a banner on the northern wall, and it's the banner of KELEMVOR. It's like a black banner with like a skeletal hand holding scales, like weighing scales. What I will say, guys, is at this moment you begin to hear moaning off in the distance, coming from the southeast.
Oh, we got company. Norman's going to move up here and wait till something comes right up to the corner here and try to cut its head off.
Suddenly, a zombie comes into view in the doorway from where you came. Ends its turn. Alistair.
I think it would be wise to attack the zombie.
Yeah, so Samuel, he's got his sword drawn. He says, "They're coming! Prepare yourselves!"
I take Sir Samuel's words very seriously and cast mage armor on myself to protect myself.
Cool, yeah. 11 is what you need to succeed.
I'll check. That's a 17.
Yeah, congratulations, you got it.
Great, and that's
Your
my
AC
turn.
goes up. Very good. Isabel. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna move here.
Alright. Norman.
Norman is going to move down to here and attack the zombie.
Alright, go for a swing. That hits. You cleat. You strike the zombie, slicing him across the chest. Does not bring the zombie down. Now it's Sir Samuel's turn unless you want to reposition.
Norman's going to probably move right back up here, and that'll end my turn.
Fucking hell, that was just that's a nat 20 on Sir Samuel's healing check that he was doing. He was gonna heal up Isabel, so just give me a second. You back up to full health, Isabel?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he crit. So, a lot of health that he heals. And as he heals you, you hear the sound of now more zombies moaning and moving forward. Duncan's like, I've not got a good feeling about this, guys. Duncan's going to spend his action to actually put the torch down carefully. And then he's going to position himself here. As more zombies now begin to move. You hear the moan. And it's happening, all very quickly, right? As soon as you swing at that one, step back, more zombies begin to pour out of the archways, and it's now round number 5. As this zombie now leaps forward, roll me a block check, Norman, as it tries to strike you. That is a success. You managed to defend yourself from the monster, and it is now Alistair's turn.
Okay, I want to magic missile the zombie that entered the room.
Yeah, go for it. One second, I just want to roll this quickly and see. Oh, it's a D6. Okay, good to know. Just gotta remind myself. Yeah, that hits.
Alright, that's 1 damage.
Yeah, imagine like trying to curve the magic missile around that statue. Makes a lot of sense for why it was only a point of damage. It wasn't able to realign very well. Isabel.
I step into strike.
You natural 20 crit the creature, and that's enough damage. How do you finish off this zombie?
Yeah, I step in and I cleave it from shoulder to its heart, and then I just step back.
Nice, and it just topples over onto its knees and onto the ground. Norman.
I can't really see down the hallway much.
You can't.
Much more here. So here, let's see. Salve, restorative. Do I have Phobane still? Yeah, I'm going to attempt to create a Phobane and for zombies.
For
Or
zombies?
undead.
Is it specifically a type of creature, or is it like an actual creature specifically?
Here I've got the PDF right here.
Thanks.
You gain advantage on attacks and damage against one creature type you choose for 1d6 rounds.
Yeah, so I'd say undead then.
Okay, then I make it for undead.
Cool. Roll me a check.
And I fail.
You fucking. Oh man. Do you want to end your turn there, or do you want to reposition?
I'll end my turn there.
So Samuel is going to stay where he is as zombies now come into view. One kind of, pounces forward at you, Norman. Roll me a block check, buddy. Oh,
Fuck.
That's 2d6 damage to you. As it comes at speed. It charges into you, slams you,
Oh.
and you take 7 points of damage.
Oof.
This one's a beast. It is. Indeed it is. Did I miss one? No, I didn't. Okay. So it's now Duncan's turn. 5,
Get this
10,
fucking thing off me.
15. He's going to go for a swing. His trusty club. Hits. 5 points of damage. And then he's going to step back into formation. And he's going to say, Norman, you might want to move. You're a bit in the line of fire. Another block from you, Norman.
Oh boy.
You managed to block and defend yourself, but the zombies keep coming. Another block attempt, Norman. And yet you stand tall. Another one rushes by, and this one charges past Duncan and Isabel and goes straight towards Sir Samuel. I'm actually going to roll a slam attempt on Sir Samuel, and that's a miss. Round number 6. I think the zombie that's dead was 17, yeah. So it's over to Alistair.
Alright, I move a bit back over here and shoot another magic missile, this time at the bottom zombie.
Oof. Very nice. Any reason why you've got a 5 and a 4 on your token?
That's the timer for my mage armor. It doesn't go
Ah!
up to 9, so
So you got
The
5
4
and a 4.
changes
That's fair. That's fair.
to a
Yeah,
3.
yeah I see what you're doing. That's cool. I like that. Alrighty. That's your turn done. It's over to Isabel. And obviously, as you can see, Norman is surrounded by zombies. And 3 of them are still, focusing him. They're all trying to attack him and slam into him. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna help support Norman, seeing as Sir Samuel only has 1 on him. So I'm gonna step here and I'm gonna strike at this one.
Go for it. Nice. 5 points of damage as you lunge and pierce the zombie through the chest. If this was
And
a
I'm gonna
normal
step
man,
back.
he would be dead. But it's not. It's an undead zombie. Yeah, you step back. Norman,
Alright, I'm gonna attack the zombie to the south.
good idea. It misses.
And shit. Alright, I'm going to move.
You are trapped.
out.
You can't diagonal between 2 enemies. They are blocking the path.
Well, shit.
What do you say to the rest of the party right now? This is the time to panic.
The Norman is in complete panic mode, just taking his shield up, moving it all around, blocking as much of it as he can, but clearly not all of it. And he's just like, get these fucking things off of me. I'm so screwed.
Yeah. So Samuel's going to go for a swing with his sword. Swing, he misses. And another swing, he hits. That's not a lot of damage. That's 1 point of damage. Zombies now persist. Duncan's also going to move up at the same time and swing for the one down here. Club. He hits and manages to bring down another zombie. But these 2 zombies piled up on top of each other, this hex that they're right here is now difficult terrain, guys, which means it requires double movement to kind of move through that area. This zombie here is going to go for an attack on you, Norman. Roll me a block check, please. And another one for the one below him. Both go for attacks. You managed to hold them both off at the same time. And finally, this one down here is going to go for Duncan. And he succeeds. Round 7. Alistair?
Yes. Time for another magic missile at the closest undead. Which is an 18 to hit.
Yep. 4 points to the closest
4
undead.
points.
Very nice. Isabel.
I step up and swing at the one of fighting Sir Samuel and Duncan.
Go for it. The magic missile obviously has hit the zombie, so it kind of staggers back as you come charging in. That actually hits, so you can roll damage. How do you finish it off?
I just step in, cut its head off, and step back.
Norman.
Norman is going to attack this one right here, and then he'll move back.
Yeah, you can get into a formation now. 10 hits.
9
How do you finish it off?
In desperate fury, he just takes his long sword and pins it up against the wall and begins repetitively shanking it until its bones crumble, and then he steps on back.
And as you bring this one down, it starts moaning again. It starts crawling back to its feet with 1 hit point.
Dicey.
Alright, it is now Sir Samuel's turn. He's going to shift around and go for a swing or 2 on the zombie. Or both of them, why not? Kills the first one, cutting off its head. And the second one takes 2 points of damage. He's going to stay where he is and end his turn. Duncan's turn. Duncan just charges towards the zombie. I think he's got strength for it, doesn't he? So I'm going to roll strength with advantage versus a check from the zombie. He charges through, slams into the zombie, and knocks the zombie to the ground. As his turn is over. Zombie on the ground now tries to, claw at his feet. I'm going to have Duncan roll a block check with advantage. Which succeeds. And it's now Alistair's turn.
Alright, does being prone or on the ground cause disadvantage on ranged
No.
attacks in Shadowdark?
Not with magic missile.
Okay. Then I'll just magic missile again. I'm surprisingly versatile with my damage options.
Yeah. That succeeds. It's 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage.
Isabel.
I'm gonna swing at this one.
Alright. That hits. And that's another zombie defeated. And it topples to the ground. Combat's over. We need to keep moving. It seems the Necromancer is likely raising more undead. We need to find him before they overwhelm us.
Agreed. You mind attending to this here real quick? And I kind of lift up my chainmail and show the grievous wound I received on that natural one there.
He nods and he's going to give it a go. Succeeds. And he heals you back up.
Sweet.
Duncan kind of rushes back and picks up the torch. Moves back to the front. He says, "There's a door ahead." Who wants to open the door?
Can we hear any moaning or rambling from beyond the door, as we heard when the zombies arrived?
Roll me a spot check. Anybody else want to do anything whilst he's doing that? You don't hear anything. Silent.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if there's anything up with these doors.
Okay. So you head up to the doors and look upon them. They appear to be unlocked. Don't have any traps on them.
Okay, then I'll push it open.
You push the doors open and you find a small, interestingly shaped room. It seems oval but with square edges. And in each corner you see a suit of armor dressed in the style of KELEMVOR, with the the iconography of the of the god kind of depicted on it. But other than that, you don't really see anything in this room. But one thing that is very interesting to you is this room is lit. There are torches in here. And you've not been in here.
Sir Samuel, there's torches in here.
So there's been some activity then. Torches do not burn for a long time.
We're getting close. That door is open over there.
It is.
Yeah. I think that we should start pursuing that as quickly as possible. I think that we're hot on his heels. Sir Samuel?
Yes. I like your thinking. Let's move. And as you guys start moving through the room, you suddenly notice the sounds of metal plates shifting. It seems to be coming from the corners of the room.
Oh, shit. Everybody through the doors now.
Click on your tokens. Roll initiative for me, please. The armor has come to life. Sorry guys, I was muted for just a second there. Apparently one of our dogs isn't feeling very well. Alright. Let me roll the dice for this. Top left, bottom left, top right, bottom right. Okay.
And then Sir Samuel and Duncan also need initiative.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll get to that. First set of armor was an 8. -1, so that's a 7. Second one is a 0. Third one is an 18. And the last one is also a 0. A roll for Sir Samuel. And one for Duncan as well. So immediately, as you know, you shout, "Let's go to the door." The suit of chainmail now blocks your path. Brings back its long sword and swings towards Isabel. Roll me a blot check, please. Managed to raise your shield and block the attack, or it was able to hit you solidly. That's going to be the end of their turn. It's over to you, Isabel.
I'm gonna swing at it.
Okay. "12 unfortunately misses. As you strike the armor, it has no impact.
Okay, I'm gonna move past Sir Samuel and just look at him.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Over to Norman.
Norman's going to move over here and try to push this thing aside.
All right. That's a strength check then.
17.
You succeed. Where do you want to move it?
5
5 feet. 5 feet square.
Push it right over here. And then Norman's going to move on through the door.
Duncan's going to do the same. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The other set of armor comes up behind Alistair and goes for a swing. On me a block check, man.
Alright.
Oh,
19.
lucky you.
Sick.
You managed
Thank
to
God for
bring up
mage
your
armor.
quarterstaff, and yeah, with your mage armor as well, you managed to negate the strike. It's now Sir Samuel's turn. As he stands in this square and is going to swing for this one down here. And he says, "All of you, run through! Do it! Do it now!" Oh, he crit as well, bloody hell. That is a hit, obviously, for that first swing. 13 points of damage as he just smashes one set of the armor by himself. And he's going to move through. Alistair.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here. I move in this direction, and can I still try to fire off magic missile at this one?
Yeah.
Who tried to attack me?
Yeah.
Alright.
It hits, 4 points of damage.
Great. And then I move up here.
Isabel.
I'm gonna step over here and swing real quick.
Okay. That hits. And you destroyed a set of armor.
And I move up here.
Cool. It's Norman's turn.
Norman is going to shut the door and try to tie the handles together on the door shut with the iron wire he has.
I actually forgot 2 of the sets of armor they were supposed to do something. So
okay.
No, but I'm not going to take it back because that's bad DMing. If I make a mistake, it's on me. So instead, I'm going to make this a bit more interesting. I'm going to have you compete against one of these sets of armor to shut the door.
All right. Strength
Competition.
check?
Yeah. So as you're trying to close the door, suddenly you see a hand slam into the door and begin pushing it back open again. So yeah, roll me a strength check, please.
Shit.
The door is still open, and that did cost you your action to do that.
All right. I guess I'm going to just stand strong.
Yeah, Duncan is going to stay at the rear, and he actually looks into the room and says, "Guys, we're back where we started. Oh, you lot, we need help." And suddenly you see movement as 3 of Sir Samuel's men now start running in to see what's going on. So Samuel gonna step forward, go for 2 swings with his sword. Swing, swing, 1 hits. 2 points of damage. And now he's going to take a step back. Alistair.
Alright. I move down here and do another magic missile on the guy at the door, hoping to deter him.
That hits. 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. And I move a bit further back.
The armor leaps through the doorway and goes for a swing. Sir Samuel. What's the bonus to hit? Oh wow, okay. That actually hits Sir Samuel, holy shit. He takes 3 points of damage. The other set of armor moves in behind and is going to go for a swing at you, Norman. Roll me a block check, please. Managed to block the attack. It's now the top of the round number 10. Isabel.
I step here and swing.
Okay. That hits. God, the big damage from you today. That's another set of armor that crumbles to the ground.
And I step back.
Norman.
I'm gonna take a swing at the set of armor in the doorway here, and
Yeah. 12 misses as he actually parries it with his sword.
alrighty. Well then, I'm gonna step back here, and that's the turn.
Duncan comes running up. He's going to try and shut the door. Using his grit. He rolls like shit. The armor contests. The armor keeps it open. Duncan says, I say we just run. He's going to move back here. So Samuel's going to shift forward. Go for two big swings. Both miss. He's going to step back. It's now your turn, Alistair.
Time for a good old reliable magic missile.
It explodes on the armor. A bit of the chain just goes flying like shrapnel.
And I go to greet the new friends.
Set of armor marches through the doorway and is going to go for a swing on Sir Samuel. Misses. This guy moves forward. He's going to help out Sir Samuel and he hits. He deals 5 points of damage. Alrighty, Isabel.
I'm just gonna step back over here and make sure we don't get flanked.
Cool. Norman.
I'm gonna make a swing against it. God damn it. And I'll step back. That's turn.
That is your turn. One second. All right.
Oh god.
All right. Norman's turn is over. Duncan's turn. Duncan's going to move back into the room. And he kind of almost jumps out of his skin, looking to the south. He says, "There are more of them coming! What do we do?" Sir Samuel is going to go for 2 swings, try and finish off the set of armor. He says, "Stand your ground!" Both hit, and for sake of purpose, he takes down the armor. Alistair.
I move over here, and of course I'm going to magic missile the first one.
It's worth mentioning, as you look to the south, Alistair, you obviously see these zombies coming, but you also see a thick aroma of death, almost like green smoke, that seems to be trailing out from the southern corridor. It's the only direction that you guys haven't gone, and you're getting the impression that might be where the Necromancer is. 1 point of damage to the zombie in the front. It is worth mentioning, guys, I have a lot of different random encounters that can happen. I just keep rolling between a 7 and a 9. It can't be helped.
I also want to shout at the melee fighters, guys, watch out for the smoke in the corridor. Might be dangerous.
Very cool. I like that. Luck point.
Awesome, thanks.
It's about you share initiative with one of the zombies. Roll me a d20 to see if you go first, or if he goes first, or they, them, it. I don't think they are worthy of pronouns, these debaucherous undead. Yeah, you are first. What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna move here for now.
Alright. Zombies now rush forward. One slams into Duncan. He desperately tries to block and defend himself, and he succeeds. No problem. But more zombies are coming. Moo! As they all moan and groan and rush into the space. Your turn, Norman.
Alrighty. I can move through allies, right?
Correct. It's not enemies. Otherwise,
Okay.
the idea of like an enemy shield wall would have no value because you guys would just run through it and hit them from the other side, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna just step on over here, protecting Alistair, and I'm gonna swing against the zombie in front of me.
Cool.
Shit.
That misses.
I'm gonna stand my ground.
Stand your ground. Roll me a block check. Block. Duncan's turn. At this point, he's just going to drop the torch, pull out his club again. But he does drop it, so let me roll d6. The torch goes out. Norman and Duncan says, "Oh no!"
Duncan, you fucking
I will end the timer. And he's now going to swing with disadvantage. That's a natural 1. Duncan gets pulled in by the zombies, and he's now in the middle of them all as he's shouting and screaming, "Am I going to kill a player's character whilst he's not here?" It's looking like it. The end of his turn. So Samuel is going to move up. 2 swings on the nearby zombie. Both hit. 10 points of damage, not enough to take down the zombie. His allies also reposition. For reference, this guy is a Doom Guide. Let me just grab the stat block for the Doom Guides so I can actually... Oh yeah, fuck's sake, I just remembered. 1 mace plus 2. The stat blocks have all been fucked up, haven't they? Because we're using a new sheet now. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna... Actually, he can't really do anything. He can't see. They do have spells though, so I'm gonna have this guy try and cast a spell. to cast light. He fails. Shit. In that case, zombies continue to move forward. Duncan rolls a block check with disadvantage. And somehow he's still blocking. Round 12. Top of the round is initiative 16. You share an initiative, Isabel. Roll me a d20. Is it you going first? Or is it looks like it's you again? What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna step back a little bit. And I'm just gonna yell out, can somebody go in that other fucking room and grab a torch?
Okay, you end your turn after shouting that. Zombies now begin to maul Duncan. All you can do is hear his screams and shouts as the attacks come in. Disadvantage to hit. That's a miss. Duncan takes 6 points of damage. Your turn, Norman.
If I'm not surrounded, I would like to run into the room that has the torches in it.
10, 20, 30. You can dash. 10.
I will.
20. And yeah, you can grab hold of the torch. And you can move to about here before your turn ends.
Alrighty. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, but I'll be back in 2 seconds.
No problem. This zombie moves over towards Alistair. Alistair, roll me a block check with disadvantage. The lights go out. And now it's time to die.
15.
Somehow you manage to cling to life and defend yourself from these egregious attacks. The zombie does not manage to bring you down. Not right now. Duncan is beside himself. He swings towards the one to the north. He hits, knocking the zombie down. Let me roll a check to see if the zombie comes up with 1 hit point. It does not. He's now going to run. And he runs straight into you, Alistair. Roll me a strength check.
6.
You both get knocked to the ground by Isabel. You're both prone. Samuel's just trying to hold off all the zombies at this point. He's shouting, "Get light in here! Now!" And he's swinging the disadvantage, so that's a hit. Yeah, so that's 2 hits, but that crit doesn't count, obviously, so it's disadvantage. And he kills another zombie. And that one goes down as well. Your turn, Alistair.
Yes, I stand up from being prone, and I cast a light spell. At least I try to.
Yep. That succeeds.
Great. So we
Hey
should
Siri,
have...
set a timer for 1 hour. You got light.
Wonderful.
Alright. Light is now in the room. The zombies all recoil at the same time as the light now begins to shine from your staff. And it's now the zombie's turn as it leaps towards this priest and goes for an attack. And kills him. He screams as Sir Samuel's like, "No!" Round 13. Marking zombies off the initiative. Isabel's turn.
I move down here and I'm gonna attack.
Ooh, that just hits. Low roll, low damage.
And then I step back.
Zombies both kind of seeing you do that now both rush to chase you. 2 blot checks, please. Managed to hold them both off. Norman's dead.
Alrighty, Norman is going to move up to here, assess the situation. That's 5, 20, 25, 30, 35. Well, if I go to 30 right there, and I'm gonna end my turn, but before I do, I'm gonna yell, like, everybody fall back to the kill point. And just kind of like wave everyone over to where I am.
Right. Duncan kind of scrambles back to his feet and rushes over to you. And then it's his turn. So Samuel's going to step over here and go for 2 big swings on this zombie. Both hit. And he actually finishes it off. There's enough damage, but let me roll a d20. Oh shit, never mind, that zombie's got 1 hit point. I'd say, you know, on a natural 20, I'll give it 1d4 hit points. 3 hit points. Still alive. So Samuel's gonna pivot over to here and end his turn. And this zombie rushes in to attack him and try to strike back. Oh. That's a crit on Sir Samuel. 9 points of damage. Your turn, Alistair.
I'm going to move back to Norman as well, but before I do, I want to cast Protection from Evil on Isabel.
Right. That fails.
That's not enough, but I have advantage on it for my 1st level talent, so I'm going to try again.
GG.
And it succeeds. And then I'm moving over here. And giving myself the timer for the focus.
Cool. Alright, so round number 14, guys. It seems Duncan has finally joined us as we are fighting for our lives against these zombies. And overrunning the party. Isabel, it's your turn.
I'm gonna swing at this one to the south of me.
Alright. That hits. 10 points of damage. I mean, it's a brutal strike. I imagine you go like 3/4 of the way through the neck, but you're not able to decapitate it with 1 swing.
And then I'm just gonna move over here.
So at this point, both the zombies now rush out. One of them from the darkness. It's good that you moved, because if you didn't, I was going to give that one advantage on its attack against you, as you couldn't really see it. But they're both going to go for you again. So I want 2 blot checks, please, Isabel, as you try to hold them both off at the same time. Just batter them away with your blade.
I have protection from evil. What does that do?
So that gives you advantage on your blot checks against this. That's a success and a success. How do you bat them both away? Because obviously you're doing this simultaneously.
I imagine that actually the shield, like the magical shield that I have, just kind of like glows holy energy and just kind of like pushes them away.
I love that. Norman's turn.
Alrighty, Norman is going to attack the zombie right in front of him. Oh, my
Just the
bad,
first one,
dude.
right?
Yeah, it's the first one. Thank God.
Yeah. Roll damage. And with that in mind, you finish the zombie off.
Sick. Yeah, that's end turn for me.
All right. Do we have Duncan here?
Yes, hello everyone.
All right. So, as you can see, the party have been set upon by multiple groups of enemies. You guys were just fighting against animated armors, but suddenly a random encounter came pouring out from the southern corridor, and as you can see, you got licked. You got the shit kicked out of you by some of the zombies. You're reeling. What do you want to do?
Okay, my turn. My 10, 15, 20, 25. Zombie directly in front of me. Let's give him a whump. Has a 13.
13 hits.
7 damage.
You smash the zombie in the skull. Goes down.
That was 25. I'll move here.
Samuel now kind of pulls back, and he's going to try and heal himself. He succeeds. This guy's going to move up, and he's going to go for a swing. And the zombie hits. 5 points of damage. Alistair.
Yes, I'm going to roll a focus check first for the protection from evil on Isabel. Which succeeds. And
Yep.
then I'm going to magic missile on the last zombie as far as I can see.
1 point of damage. Not enough. You give him a haircut, but that's it.
It'll have to do for now. That's it.
Alright. Isabel.
I'm gonna attempt to finish it off.
A hit. Oh wow, that's a huge amount of damage. How do you finish it off?
I feel like I just split it in two.
Amazing. With that in mind, the combat is over. So, all the zombies now lay motionless at your feet. They've been slain by you and your companions. You find yourself now, guys, back in the original chamber. Just to the north is the way to the surface. You've done a full loop of this place. What you haven't explored is the core of this area. So Samuel isn't looking in great health, tired and sweaty, just like each and every one of you. But he says, "You can't have too many more. He must be running out. Surely."
Let's keep moving. The Duncan looks like he needs some help there, Samuel. Help him out and we'll start packing out of here.
And no more dropping torches. That goes for everyone.
Yeah, Duncan, why'd you drop the torch, man?
Duncan sort of nursing a headache. He just sort of, oh, I was just thinking about your mother. Oh. Ew.
And the two men seem to want to join you guys, and Sir Samuel says, "No, I need you here to defend the way to the surface. Those men upstairs aren't going to be able to hold off these zombies, but you two can. At least, long enough for us to come back." Anywho, KELEMVOR has given me many blessings today. I hope he will now bless you. And Sir Samuel now puts his hand over your wounds, Duncan, and he's going to attempt to heal you. He succeeds.
Huzzah.
8 hit points. Honestly, Sir Samuel is the fucking best healer ever, apparently, because the dude's not fucking failing his checks.
Which we are very grateful for.
Oh, dude.
We'd be so fuckered without it.
He's a
Do we
bit of a
wanna
higher
try-
level.
Do we want to attempt some treasure rolls?
You may try, yeah.
I'll do one. Hey.
Yeah, you do find something. You can roll me a D100 for what you find.
That's...
A 1.
yes.
You find a bent tin fork. It's worth a copper piece. No experience.
Duncan tosses it aside with a grunt.
Does anybody else want to do anything on round 16 before you guys regroup at the southern passageway with Sir Samuel?
I'd like to check if the smoke and stuff I saw earlier is still coming from the southern passage.
It is. And Sir Samuel states that as well. He's like, "The darkness is thick down here. You must not be too far away."
Alright. Norman is gonna just make his way down and wait till we get going.
Yeah, it's round 17. You guys may each move 6 squares and either tell me through voice chat or through text chat what your characters are doing right now.
Duncan will be moving to here, and whilst he's doing that, he'll be idly running his hand along the wall, testing for buttons or loose bricks.
Understood. So Samuel shifts around the corner and opens a door and kind of peers in, finds a small shrine and says, "I don't see anything in here. Clear. What about the other corridor? Alistair?"
I'll have a quick look. There's seems to be a stairway heading down. I can't see too far.
I will say the smoke is coming from towards the left of you, further down the corridor.
And the smoke seems to be coming from here.
Be on your guard, everyone. We are closing in. Okay guys, I'm going to delete you guys from the initiative and I want you to re-roll, and moving forward we're going to go one at a time and we're going to do this slowly, carefully, as you would in a dungeon.
Oh god fucking damn it. What the hell, I rolled that off my sheet too.
Yeah, you silly Billy. Okay, Norman and Isabel, you're both initiative 18. which means that I don't really mind which one of you takes point.
I'll let Norman go first since he has a torch.
Alrighty. Fair enough. Okay, where does the smoke seem to be coming from? The southern corridor or the one alright, then I'm just going to continue into it, and as soon as I step into it, is it, does it hurt my lungs or anything like that?
You begin coughing, but, I mean, there's no damage or anything.
Does it taste weird? Is it there, like, describe how this feels to me as I step on in.
So, you know when you go to a petrol station and you get out of the car and you can just smell all the fumes? That's what it's like.
Okay, I kind of like wave the torch in the air to see if anything ignites.
As you wave the torch in the air and kind of come to a standstill in this corridor, you look to your foot and notice there is a glyph, and suddenly it lights up. Roll me a dex check.
Bah. Fuck!
Roll me 2d6, mark it from your hit points. You can't regain those hit points until you finish a long rest.
Sorry, that was one, okay.
7. So
Seven.
half your health. Half your health has just been... half your strength and your stamina. It feels as if your stamina has been sapped, right? As this glyph goes off. Clearly a trap set by the Necromancer, and you are feeling its full effects. Be aware that if that had dropped any of you to 0, it would have insta-killed you.
Okay. I don't like that whatsoever.
I'm not playing games when it comes to traps, guys.
I'm gonna wait here and let someone else take point.
Okay.
Or
So
actually, wait a minute. Could I try to make a restorative to see if that would be able to heal this?
Restorative. Have you still got your action? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I don't think I did anything that would require an action.
Yeah, you can try and make a restorative.
Sick.
Okay, so what does a restorative actually accomplish?
Ends one poison or disease.
Ooh, this isn't a poison or a disease.
Okay.
But do you still want to take it?
I'll still take it.
Okay. Good to know. Then your turn.
Norman starts chewing on it, and he's gonna end his turn there.
Do you give the party any roleplay warning of what just happened to you?
Yeah. Was there any like visual or anything like that? Or
Yeah.
did
So
that just
the glyph lit up, and then like a dark shroud encompassed your form, and then it almost swallowed you whole for a second as the energy was just sapped from your body.
Yeah. No, I kind of like look back. I'm like, okay, the fucking glyphs are back, and like he looks like pale and fucking sick. And he almost drops the torch. He reaches into his pocket and like stuffs some herbs in his mouth and starts chewing on them like tobacco. Just oh shit. And yeah, that's that.
Isabel.
I'm gonna end my turn here.
Alistair.
Okay, I'm rolling my focus check for the protection from evil.
It's gone.
That's gone. And I want to move up here to investigate the rest of the hallway if I see any more glyphs.
Wisdom check. Yeah.
Wisdom.
Yeah, you're spotting. An
Well,
8.
that's an 8.
You don't see anything ahead. It looks safe.
Okay, then I just carefully want to peek around the corner and see.
Peek around the corner and you see 2 large stone doors. They are engraved with the symbol of KELEMVOR, and it's the actual like symbol is kind of split between the 2 doors, like in a like a circle. So it's almost like a, what's the word? I'd just say it's like it's a symbol in the middle of the door, right? But the room itself, give me a second. It appears to be a shrine, this room. There's actually a statue right here. Let me draw it. And there are murals on the wall that depict the actual man in the statue slaying what appear to be cultists and undead. But the statue is of a knight in full plate, wearing a plumed helmet with a long cape, wielding a great sword in the depiction.
Okay. And the smoke, does that seem to come from the statue or from the doors?
Coming from underneath the door.
Okay. So I turn back towards the others. Guys, there's a door over here, and the smoke seems to be coming from there. We might have found the Necromancer.
Worth mentioning, there are also 2 identical statues on either side of the door. These appear to be like your typical knights. But I will say, the knight, like the gear, the equipment, it looks very similar to what Sir Samuel wears. It's like the same order. Over to Duncan.
Alright, well, I will follow to here. 5, 10, 15. I'm seeing a bit of a... Maybe it's just the map, but I'm seeing something of a deviation in the wall here. Is that actually something?
Yeah, it's a corridor that leads down a staircase.
Oh, okay, it's just dark.
Like a
Okay.
stairwell.
So that was 5, 10, 15, 25. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get through. So that's me. Caught in the
Samuel's
corridor.
gonna guard the rear. Norman's turn.
Norman is going to step up into the room here. He's going to be very careful and keep his eyes out for any traps or anything of the sort. Any similar glyphs. And he looks down into the room here, and kind of like he steps on up, and he kind of just motions everybody else to come into the room, and that'll be that.
Okay. Isabel.
I'm gonna end my turn here.
Alistair.
I want to move in. Am I leaving the others in the dark right now?
A little bit. It'll be fine, they can move up.
Okay, and I want to have a closer look at the statues next to the door to see whether they are guarding, like if they could be trapped or coming to life, something like that.
Roll me an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
You scratch your head, and you feel as if there is something off about these statues, but you're not able to find anything through kind of scanning the space. You do see that there is a plaque on the larger statue, which says the name of this knight, Sir Osric, and it has the words, "KELEMVOR's chosen, I stand resolute," written underneath his name. But no, you're not able to find any traps.
Okay, then I'll just wait for Sir Samuel. Perhaps he recognizes something. But I end my turn here.
I will say one thing though. The door, it appears locked. Duncan.
Alright. Advancing. Okay, so there's... I'll use my action, even though it's probably not very efficient, to move an extra 6 squares. Get into here. And stand up against the wall. That's my action, so yep, that's me done.
Samuel's going to move in. The room's going to dash. You're going to say, "Sir Osric, pleasure to be before you again. We will take care of this, I promise you." He now turns towards the door and goes to his pocket and pulls out a key that's on a piece of string. Says, "One of you, open the door."
I'm the closest to him, so I guess I'll do it.
Up to you, but it is Norman's turn first.
Oh, right, yep, sorry.
Norman shakes his head. He looks gaunt and sickly. He's like, not this time.
Isabel.
I'll take the key from him. And I will unlock the door, but I'm not going to open it.
Click, click. And as you unlock the door, the statues now turn inwards towards you. Roll me a dex check, please. You try to step backwards, but you're not quick enough. And suddenly, the statues now glow with radiant energy. But the energy just rushes over you like a warm breeze, and you don't feel impacted by it. It's as if it's made for destroying undead. It's your turn, Alistair.
I move over here and want to try my hand at unlocking the door. Oh.
The door is unlocked.
It is unlocked.
Okay, well, in that case, I reposition back a bit, allowing everyone to get into position before we go in. I don't think it would be wise for me to charge in myself.
Oh, look, a good plan. Alright guys, get yourselves into your positions. I mean, Duncan, if you want to reposition. Who's actually going to open the door?
I think I'm gonna take the role as Alistair's bodyguard from here on out, because if I get hit by something like that again, I am gone.
Alright guys, I'm going to clear the initiative. For roll, you know, for flavor, we can have Duncan and Isabel open the doors at the same time. But you know what guys, let's have a break right here. Okay?
Sounds good.
All good.
Alright.
Alright.
See you guys in a few minutes.
See you guys in a bit.
BRB.
Alright. The promised son returns.
Let's see if we make it out alive.
I certainly hope so. Oh man. It is getting colder here where I live. And unfortunately, the window in my car isn't working. Like I can't pull it up. So I just drove at 110 all the way home in the freezing cold morning with wind just blasting me in the face. I'm cold, dude.
Damn, that sounds rough.
Yeah. It's all good though, it's getting fixed today.
Nice.
So how you been, man?
Yeah, pretty well.
Yeah.
Playing a lot of D&D lately, so that's always nice. How about you?
Really? Oh, saving money, working hard. Going on a cruise soon. In May.
Cool.
I'm certainly
Where's it
looking
going?
forward to it. Sorry?
Where's the cruise going? Which places does it visit?
Oh, going to, I'm not sure what you'd call it, like, islands. I'm going to, Vanuatu, New Caledonia, a couple others. They're, sort of, they're near Fiji. If that makes sense.
Yes, I know where they are. It's cool.
Yeah.
Very tropical, right? The typical blue water, white beaches.
Yeah.
Isn't that Micronesia? Or Melanesia?
I'm honestly not sure. I'm not really taking care of a lot of the details, I'm just providing the money. How have you been, Gia?
I've been alright. Really busy though.
Yeah, so I'm told.
I had a Cyberpunk game last night though.
Okay, was that good?
Back.
Yeah, we fucked up Atom Smasher.
Very cool.
I bought one of those timestamp bottles. Like those 2-litre timestamp bottles where you've got to like drink it throughout the day. So you can drink 2 litres of water. It's fucking tough, man.
Alright,
Both.
I've got my grilled cheese. Let's get it going.
You got your grilled cheese.
My birthday grilled cheese.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Got a little candle in it.
Oh, I wish I could afford candles.
Damn, son.
Nah, I'll have a like a cupcake with a little candle in it later today.
Cute. So, with that in mind, guys, you now push the doors open. What you discover is a large chamber with a raised platform in the center. Suddenly, a figure now comes into view, wielding a staff in one hand. He glances over at you guys with a very gaunt face and an expression of malcontent. And he says, "So you're the ones that have come to take me down." He now pauses.
Come quietly, and you will have a quick death.
Long ago, we came here as many, but now I am the only one left. My brothers will come for me, and when they do, this town will fall. I will not be coming quietly. You will be the ones to come. Come then! Face me! Come on then! And he now raises his staff, and he now begins to cast a spell. Click on your tokens. Roll
Hey
initiative.
Loki, we're not on the map.
That's fine. That's fine. That's good. That's good. That's great. It's wonderful.
There we go.
For anybody who's watching the live stream, this is a boss fight against the Necromancer. Let us begin. So Samuel starts off first. A charge past you and run into the room, and he says, Necromancer, your days of defiling this temple are over. Yeah! And he swings and tries to kill the first zombie with his sword. That's a natural 1 on the second attack, but the first attack does hit to d8 points of damage, 2 points. With that in mind, Samuel swings, and the second one, he actually hits his sword into the wall, and his sword actually shatters. And so Samuel says, No, my sword. I'm without a sword. And he's going to end his turn. Well, you'll be without a life very shortly. As the Necromancer now steps forward, staff in hand, this magic is beginning to coalesce around the tip of the staff itself, a focus that's fixed, a large gem in these as a centerpiece for this quarterstaff. This moment he's now going to try and cast a spell. And we're gonna go with Magic Missile. Because that's all wizards do. Got advantage. It succeeds. He deals 4 points of damage to Sir Samuel. And now steps back and away. So Samuel goes, Ah! You monster! And it's now the zombie's turn as it leaps towards Sir Samuel. Blocks. And it's now your turn, Isabel.
I step over here. I'm gonna swing at the zombie.
That hits.
And then I'm gonna tell Sir Samuel that I have a long sword hanging out of my backpack.
So Samuel nods, understanding what you're saying. And says, Thank you, milady. Get your turn?
Yeah.
Alright. It's now Duncan's turn.
Alright, it is time for Duncan to do something very brave and very stupid. Spin of the room. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Duncan lets out a rather unsophisticated roar as he charges forward.
Hell yeah,
Let's
man.
try and give him a wump. 13 to hit the wizard.
What does mage armor give again?
It sets armor to 14, I believe.
As a miss.
Fair enough. Duncan, with bleary, youthful eyes filled with fear and adrenaline, faces down the Necromancer.
Alright. And as you go for the swing, he kind of brings up his staff and he just swings his staff at you and kind of knocks you off your feet for just a moment. The HP reduced the zombie. He has had his HP reduced.
I hit this one.
How much for?
5.
Oh, my apologies. I was sorting something out in the room that you'll find out in just a moment.
No worries.
So anyway, as I was saying, he kind of knocks you back with his staff and he says, "You shouldn't be here, boy. This is a fight for men." The zombie now comes rushing up towards you. Roll me a blot check, Duncan. Managed to hold off the zombie, as it's now your turn, Alistair.
Okay. I will cast Protection from Evil on Norman, assuming he will also be into the fray shortly. It goes
Sweet.
off.
Very good.
It's a 14. And I move up to here so I can get a bit of a closer view of the room.
Yep. The zombies moan and groan as the Necromancer directs this zombie here to march up and go for Duncan. Roll me another blot check, Duncan, as you are now holding off 2 zombies at the same time, and you do so. The other zombie goes to Sir Samuel and hits him. 2 points of damage. You got 2 initiatives, Duncan.
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh,
Probably 'cause
sorry.
you... Fine, don't worry about it. Norman.
Alrighty. Norman's gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and he's going to take a swing against the zombie south to Sir Samuel.
Okay.
And that's a no bueno. Alright, that's that.
That is that. Oh, I fucked up the second one. One second, guys. I'm rolling some dice. So, with that in mind, Richard now waves his staff around as these big fumes of green gas now begin to fill the room. The areas that are being filled here, and here. So almost like this green mist is just spewing out his staff, and it's just filling up those 2 spaces. So all of the squares in the red square, and all of the squares in the yellow square. Do you guys understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Alright. Sir Samuel's turn as he starts coughing and choking. And I'm going to have him roll a con check, which he succeeds. Sir Samuel says, "We need to get out of this, this choking." And he's going to move over here, pull the longsword from your belt, shift around, and he's going to go for a swing on this zombie here. Two hits. 6 points of damage. He brings the zombie down. And the zombie has 1 hit point. Has not managed to kill it. Okay. Now the Necromancer's turn. He now steps over towards here and says, "You're not going anywhere." And he's gonna step here and he's gonna cast Web on Norman. 1 second. Web. Here it is. Okay. "12 just goes off. He creates a near-size cube. That's pretty big, isn't it?
That's
Goes close.
huge.
That's close, near, far, right?
Sounds right.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. So that's actually a really large area then. That's like 30-foot cube, I think.
Yep.
I'll have it in black. So that's 6 squares by 6 squares. And
Holy shit.
he's gonna have it fill this area here. I need a kind of a better color. I've made this overly complicated. My apologies, guys. Blue's good. Blue will do. So yeah, now they're... So basically he shoots out a web from his staff, and it's this sticky, dense spider web. And you guys now can't move. You're stuck in his web, as it's now the zombie's turn. Need to roll a check. Okay. So the zombie actually isn't gonna try and do a check. The zombie's just gonna try and attack Isabel. Roll me a block check, please. You succeed. Your turn, Isabel. Roll me a con check, please.
And we can't move, correct?
You can't move unless you spend your action to try and break out of it. Okay, so you succeed on the save, and therefore you manage to hold off the fumes, the choking, the coughing. What do you want to do? You can't move currently.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to use my action to break out of the webs.
Very good. So it states here, you must succeed a strength check versus the spellcasting check. DC for that is 12.
And I assume I get to use grit.
I think for sake of purpose, grit just gives you like always advantage on strength checks. So yeah. 12 just it's the same. It says yeah, I mean it's a DC, so it beats it, you break out of it. Do you want to reposition?
Yep, I'm just gonna move down here.
Be aware,
end my turn.
that is still in the web.
I see.
Cool. Duncan,
Okay, action to break out.
easy to roll me a con
Advantage.
check as well.
Yep. Do I?
Actually, no, you're not in the right. You're not in that hex. So yeah, try and break out. You succeed. You've broken out.
All right. Nothing special happens for a critical, I imagine.
I'd say you drag this zombie into your hex and you take his place. There's no movement lost.
Fair enough. I will then, as Duncan grunts, ripping free from this web, he rushes forward. 5, 10. Again, facing down the Necromancer, breathing heavily and seemingly just letting his body run on fumes rather than any kind of sense.
Yeah,
Turned on.
go for a swing.
I used my action to break
Oh,
out.
you did. Never mind.
I'm just getting
Okay.
in the way at this point.
This zombie's going to try and break free using his action to do so. 1 second, let me just check the zombie slam to see if it's got a bonus. It does actually, +2. Fails to break out. Ends its turn. Alistair.
Yes. I move one step closer. Can I see through the fumes?
I would say it will cause you to roll with disadvantage on whatever you're trying to do if you're trying to shoot through it.
Okay, well, first I'm going to roll the focus check for the protection from evil on Norman.
Yep.
That does still work normally, right?
Yeah.
That
It does-
fails, even with the
fail.
advantage from spell. And then I'm going to roll a magic missile normally, since disadvantage cancelled out my advantage.
Hits. Who's it going for?
It's going for the Necromancer, sorry, I should have said that.
Yeah, you should have. It's an auto hit, right? It's not against his AC, so you roll damage. 3 points of
3
damage. Very nice.
On the Necromancer.
Yeah, marked it off. Let me make sure his HP bar is visible. There you go.
Awesome.
Now the zombie's turn. The zombie's going to go for an attack on Norman. Roll to block. Succeeds. This zombie here is going to try and break out. He succeeds. And he's going to move up to Duncan. Norman's turn.
Norman's going to use his torch he's carrying to burn the webs at his feet.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I will say I do need a con check from you.
Oh, yes, sorry. Shite.
Begin to cough and choke. You take a d4 points of damage, and whatever you try to do for this round has disadvantage.
Okay. So trying to break out, that'd be disadvantage strength?
Well, if you're using the torch, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I won't even ask you for a roll. Instead, I will say that it begins to burn, but you will not be free until the start of your next turn.
Alright. That's fine
Because
with me.
it takes time to burn.
Yep, fair enough. I end my turn there then.
Cool. And with that in mind, it's now round 20, and the smoke now begins to kind of rise to the ceiling, and it's no longer kind of in play, but now Richard begins to, almost do like a stirring motion with the staff over his head. He begins to swirl it around as the green energy begins to rise and flurry like the smoke of a bonfire. And it begins just to fill the room. I want every player to roll a con check.
Oh, boy.
That includes Alistair as well.
Oh no. Oh no.
Samuel has failed. It is worth mentioning, guys, the DC for this challenge is DC 12. You fail, you take a D4 points of damage. You critically fail, you take 2d4 points of damage.
Oh no.
Additionally, as you guys already kind of heard earlier, you basically have the equivalent of the poisoned condition, which means you have disadvantage on tests until the end of your turn.
Norman's out.
Worth mentioning, guys, the torch timer is also over. But the good news is there's already light in this room, but you can mark off both your torches as they are both out of play now. But Norman is out, yeah. The Samuel also did fail, so I rolled a d4 for him. 2 points of damage. Samuel's going to try and break out of the web. Yeah, this isn't even a focus spell either. Web, it just lasts for 5 rounds. It's really good. So Samuel breaks out. 12 is a success. He's going to move to here. I'm just going to make a note, as it's now Richard's turn. He's got 3 rounds remaining of his web, as he now dances around the two of you and says, "Looks like one of you's gone down already. Who will be joining him next?" He goes round the pillar and says, "You!" And he goes for a magic missile on you, Duncan. You roll a check. That succeeds. You take 3 points of damage, Duncan.
Fair enough.
Okay. Zombies. Some of them still need to try and break out. It does. It moves up here towards Alistair. We'll end its turn there. Take a purpose. I'll just put a like on the ones that have broken out. Actually, no, that one hasn't broken out. That one's still webbed. There we go. Isabel. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna move here,
Cool.
and
You go.
I'm dashing there and ending my turn.
Ending your turn. Alright. Duncan.
Okay, together with Isabel, he rushes forward. And goes for the wump. Come on, you 14. Hey,
That hits.
7 damage.
That's a
That's Duncan.
huge hit. What do you do?
Duncan rushes forward, brings the flat end of his club to his midsection, shouting out rather unceremoniously, "I'll show you a boy."
Nice. Luck point.
Oh, very good.
Zombie comes rushing up to you, Duncan. Roll a blot check.
Do I want to luck point it? Yeah. No,
How much HP do you
Four.
have?
not a
3.
lot. No, I'm gonna take the damage. I'll take the damage.
Roll a d6.
Oh, I didn't know it was a D6. Okay. 2. All right.
2 points.
That's lucky.
Very.
Alice's turn.
Yes. Did the smoke clear a bit?
There's smoke in the room. It's difficult to make. I'd say Richard's got full cover. Necromancer. You could
Okay, so
target him even if you wished.
Okay, if I can't target the Necromancer, I want to target the skeleton zombie in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't have disadvantage on that, right?
No, I don't think you do. Did you succeed your check against the poison? His effect?
Yes, I did.
Con check? Then yeah,
I did
you're
succeed
fine.
con-
Yeah, the idea,
Okay,
guys,
then-
if you failed, you're poisoned, right? You have disadvantage
Yeah.
on attacks.
So I cast my magic missile with the regular advantage on the zombie in front of me.
Indeed.
It goes off for 3 damage.
Yeah, and the zombie drops dead.
And I move over here to try and get a better look at the Necromancer for the next round.
This zombie's gonna try and break out, and it's natural fucking 20. And it's gonna go rushing towards Alistair after hearing that big noise from his magic missile. And then its turn there. One next to Sir Samuel. Gonna go for an attack on him. Misses. It will shift over here. Norman, did you roll for how many rounds you've got?
I have not yet. Let's do that now.
You need to roll that. You need to roll how many rounds you've got, and then you need to roll for your first round to see whether you continue to die or if you stabilize.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you.
You got 4 rounds. Why is there a 2 on you?
I don't know. That's been here the entire game.
Weird. Alright, so you've got 4 rounds. Well, it'll be 3 now. Roll me a con check to see if you can stabilize or roll a natural 20 or if you will continue to die. Alright, you will continue to die. Round 21, it's Samuel's turn. As he now goes for a swing on each of the zombies. And as he does, Richard says, "Stay back! Stay back!" And he slams the bottom part of his staff into the ground as a pulse of magical energy rushes out around him. I'd like Isabel and Duncan to each roll me a strength check to stand tall against this magical effect. This is going to actually have a DC, and it's going to be based on what the Necromancer rolls on a spell check. Okay? (13) is the DC, which means you both beat it. But as he does that, the Samuel, 2 swings. Swing, 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 swing. 1 hits, 1 misses. 2 points of damage to the one on the left. And it's at this point, it is now the Necromancer's turn. And he is going to cast first level spell, which fails. So with that in mind, he now sweeps his staff around him as fire begins to form and it begins to burn the ground. You get the impression he's trying to cast a powerful fire spell. But Duncan, you manage to swing and hit the Necromancer, stifling his movement. So at this point, he now rushes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he moves over to here, turns around, and says, "No, it will not end like this." He's going to end his turn. Isabel.
I'm gonna move up there, and I'm gonna use my shield's ability to roll advantage for 3 turns. On attack.
Hell yes! Critical success! Roll your damage. How do you want to do this?
Yeah, I'm gonna stab him through the heart, pull my sword out, grab him by his long hair, and just like cut his head off.
And he topples to the ground. And as soon as he does, the zombies standing over Sir Samuel, Duncan, and Alistair, they all swing back and go in to strike. And as you guys now go to defend yourselves, the zombies drop to the ground, topple over as their master no longer draws breath. Congratulations.
Huzzah.
Your turn, Duncan.
Well,
Norman
as is
is still-
customary,
Norman is still dying.
okay. Rush over here to Normie. Intelligence check to try and stabilize him.
Yep.
13.
Fails.
That's 15, isn't it?
Yeah.
Close, but no cigar.
Alistair.
The web is also gone if he dies, right?
No, it's not a focus spell.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it actually lasts for 5 rounds and then it's gone. It makes spellcasters pretty fucking scary, doesn't it? That they can just put down an effect and then it stays there even if they die.
Yeah, so I can't really move through it.
You can try and leap over it. Roll me a strength check. DC 12. If you succeed, you leap over it.
That's a 6.
You go straight into the web. And you are latched up by the web as your turn ends.
Alright.
This zombie is dead, so it's Norman's turn. Norman, roll me another con check, please.
Yay.
You're looking like you might be the casualty of this fight.
Ah, come on.
Good roll, but 2 rounds remaining. Samuel runs over, goes down to one knee, and says, "KELEMVOR, this warrior has fought and bled for your cause. Give me the strength to heal him back." Now roll a check.
Me?
No, I'm gonna roll a check. I'm gonna roll a power check, a healing check. He fails,
Fuck,
And
I knew
so-
that was gonna happen.
and suddenly his magic no longer works, and he says, "That it is your will." And he now stands up. Isabel.
Seeing that I don't have much medical expertise and Duncan's already helping him as well as Sir Samuel, I'm gonna do a treasure roll on the
Oh, come
Necromancer.
on. Don't do that. Oh, no. You help
I have
me
a
too.
negative.
Come on.
I have a -2 to my intelligence.
You can still roll over 15. Give me as many rolls as possible here. Come on. I'd do the same for you.
All right, I'll try it. If I roll an @1, it's on you.
That's fine by me.
Critical
Critical success. There we go. See? Woo! Yes!
To Isabel.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, yeah, happy birthday, man. Isabel drags you from the webs and brings you to safety. And it seems some of the webs actually wrap themselves around your injured limb and seem to have stemmed the bleeding. You actually come back to consciousness with 1 point. You are prone, and I'm going to say that you have disadvantage on all tests until you are healed, because of in how bad shape you are currently.
That is fine by me. Oh, thank you, Isabel. I knew you were a friend I could count on.
I get to loot the Necromancer.
I was gonna say that was your action, but I'm sure you guys can loot as a group, right? Like, doesn't need to be just one person doing it. But I will say, with the combat now over, zombies dead on the floor, Alistair caught up in the webs. You all look over at the body of the Necromancer. He has tattoos from head all the way down his body. His head all the way down to his toes. And he has the mark of Cyric, god of lies, on his chest, where his heart is. This man seems to be something quite unpure, perhaps in his mid-60s. He looks gaunt. I would go one further and say that he's malnourished, being down here for so long. But despite that, he gave you guys a fairly good fight. On his body, you find 3 things. The first is a spell book containing his magics. Second are braces that provide the wearer with defense. The third is his robe. It's a robe that, well, didn't work for him, but it helped keeps one alive. Those are the 3 items.
Alrighty. Norman's gonna bend down and pick up the bracers, and kind of like look them over. And anything interesting on them? Any like unholy symbology on them?
No, they don't appear to have any symbology on them, but they're braces of defense. They provide the wearer with an extra point of armor class if they wear them.
Norman's going to take those.
Eventually the web does dissipate, Alistair, and you wriggle free to see Norman pulling away. Even though he's laying down next to the body, kind of getting rid of the braces from the Necromancer. But his spellbook does seem to be nearby, and also his robe as well, obviously, is on him.
I definitely want to take a closer look at the robe.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so the robe itself is called the Serenity Shroud. It gives, you know how you guys were just rolling checks to stabilize Norman? Well, if you wear this robe, the check becomes easy class, difficulty class, rather than what it is currently. It means all you have to do is roll a 9 and you stabilize. It's pretty good, isn't it?
That's awesome.
That is really good. What's your intelligence score there, Alistair?
16.
It specifies here, Serenity Shroud checks to stabilize you are easy. So obviously, rolls you do yourself are still going to be the same. You know, it's still the same, like nat 20 to kick up, whatever, right? But people can stabilize you a lot easier with this shroud on.
Yeah, and you have the highest intelligence, so that's probably good for you.
Yeah, I also think the others, you are all wearing armor, right?
Yes.
I was going to say, I think most of the party are wearing plate armor now.
Yeah, so I think these robes would be amazing for me.
It would be it would be a poor form of justice if you didn't get these robes. They've pretty much got your name
if
on them.
nobody objects, I'm putting them on.
Go for it, man.
So, is it fair to say that you guys are stripping this man of his clothes and his dignity?
Well-
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. I do not care if the knight is right there. This is what we are here for. This is part of our payment.
Yeah.
If I may. Duncan, whilst sort of spitefully swiping the beginnings of sort of tears from his eyes, snaps up the Necromancer's staff.
Cool.
He says, I'm taking this. I won't be keeping it though. You're all fine with that, I imagine?
Nothing special about it. Norman looks like he's like kind of like, oh, he's pretty much the only zombie left in this room here at this point.
Yeah.
Just kind of like shifting a little bit in his stance, constantly like regaining his balance, just like just get the rest of the stuff and he starts like trying to drag the body very like unsuccessfully. Samuel, let's take the bounty back upstairs. Yeah. Then he's gonna start trying to make his way like out of this place because he wants to get the fuck out of here.
And he says, it would be uncouth if I was to want to carry this man. Duncan, Norman, you'll carry him.
Yes, sir.
Duncan will do most of the lifting.
He's
I
wearing... The Necromancer does have his undergarments on, but that's pretty much it at this point. Yes, Gia.
I unstrap the Shield of Valor and I give it to Sir Samuel and I say, I believe this belongs to the church.
You're right, it does. Thank you. And he actually equips it, he slinks his other shield over his shoulder, and says, "Alright, let's get out of here. Our job is done." With that in mind, guys, you now make your way back to the surface. And...
Could I take the spellbook with me?
Sure.
Of the Necromancer?
And I will say that as you skim through the pages of the spellbook, you realize that to figure out these spells, you're going to actually need to study it. Because a lot of it is scribbles and kind of mad writings. And you know how, like, obviously, I assume not everybody here knows how to code, but different developers will code in different ways. And you kind of need to try and understand their way of doing it. But it's kind of the same with spellcasters. They have their way, their algorithms that they use, right? In order to do incantations. And it's very clear that this Necromancer has a different way of casting spells than you do, Alistair.
That makes a lot of sense. I'll investigate it when we have time, and perhaps I'll be forced to destroy this dark tome.
You may have to. But now back on the surface, you bring the body of the Lich, of the Necromancer. Sorry, he's not a Lich. He was a human. You bring the body of the Necromancer before the chaplain of the church, and she is both filled with joy, but also sorrow. As it's not a nice sight to see the body of a dead man at her feet. But she nods kind of stoically and says, "You have done very well." And she now turns to Sir Samuel and says, "Thank you, Sir Samuel, and thank all of you as well for what you have done. As agreed, there is payment." And she now gestures to a chest that's on a table, literally behind you guys, by like the side of the door, you will find that the payment promised will suit each of you.
Norman does a little zombie walk over to the chest and flips it open.
So yeah, you open it up and you find that there is 800 gold pieces in there.
I believe that is sufficient. Thank you very much. I will keep in contact. If you ever need anything else, we are around for you. I need to go sleep. And Norman tries to lift the chest and he's like,
Before each of you leave, let me tell you one thing and make it clear. What happened down in those crypts stays between you and the crypts. Is that understood?
I won't speak a word of it.
I agree, but I would like to ask as to why.
If word was to spread that the followers of KELEMVOR cannot protect their solemn crypts, it would create problems for the church. And you will not want us to have problems if you understand what I am saying. And she looks at you with almost like a threatening glare.
No need for threats. There's another necromancer that needs to be taken care of in this area. I look over to Sir Samuel. I'm like, the Baron or whoever runs this area here, may also have soldiers at the ready soon, but other than that, I do not know. I'm wondering if you would be willing to accompany us once we have figured out what the force is going to be.
Roll me a charisma check.
Nah.
Sir Samuel smiles and says, "What we have accomplished here is great, but my duty is to the Order. I'm not allowed to run off on wild goose chases, so you'll have to forgive me. My place is here." And he lowers his head quite solemnly at you all.
Very well.
But the Baron of this land, he is a devout follower of not just our god, KELEMVOR, but the others of our pantheon. He will take heed to what you have told me. Perhaps I can sway him to take action.
That would be most kind of you. Regardless, I apologize, but I really must get going to a cot. He kind of like almost hurls for a second as he's trying to lift his chest of 800 gold here. And it's like, Alistair, Duncan, Isabel, carry that over to Susan. I'm making my way back home. Then he kind of like stumbles out of the room almost like he was drunk.
I grab the chest.
Alright, so you guys now take the chest, and, you know, the whole time that you were talking to Sir Samuel, you know, this chaplain is giving you guys, like, dagger eyes. Like, she's being very, very serious about you guys keeping this to yourself. And because of this, guys, unless you do decide to leak the information, and unless you do decide to start spreading it, there is not going to be any fame gained from this adventure. As the church doesn't really want people knowing what's happening, or what's happened. But you have received quite a payday. And now, leaving the church, you walk by a lot of military men, soldiers, who look very confused at all of you coming out of the church with this chest. But they allow you to pass, assuming that if you manage to get your way into the church, and you were supposed to be there in the first place, right?
once we are outside, Duncan, taking on actually something which you guys have probably never seen on his face, which is a look of solemnness, says, I'm going to run an errand. I'll see you all back at the Green Halberd later. And he trudges off towards the Wizard's Tower.
You're not going to help me with this chest?
I trust it'll all be in order.
Start filling Susan's saddlebags.
Boo!
The richest camel in the world.
Norman mounts the camel as he doesn't not want to walk anymore at all, and starts being like, "All right, girl, come on," and kind of like gives her like a little like gentle kick in the sides to get her moving.
Yeah. I will say, Duncan, traveling to the Wizard's Tower, it's 4 hexes, so that is 4d6 that I'd like you to roll.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna do that kind of at the. I was gonna do that soon. Yeah. 6, 2, 4, 4. Interesting. No random encounters. You make your way over to the tower. Where are the rest of you guys going?
Back to the Green Halberd.
The Green
Indeed,
Halberd. That's 7. All right. So that's 3 hexes. I want each of you to roll a d6. Yeah. Get everybody rolling dice. That's what we like. Alrighty, so with that in mind, guys, you now make your way back to the Green Halberd, and you are not preyed upon by any bad people in the city, in the town. Duncan, you now arrive at the Wizard's Tower, and assumedly enter the ground floor, the gallery.
Yes.
You can see that there's a spiral staircase in the center. There's a couple of guards on duty. What do you want to do?
Duncan straightens his back, takes off his hat, and says to the cold, open air, I've come to speak with the mage I spoke to before about my shield.
Roll me a charisma check.
Oh, if I must.
You must.
I'm gonna luck point that.
You're gonna luck point it. You saved a luck point for this. Alright, roll it.
A 17.
Red smoke fills the room momentarily, and as it dissipates, you see standing before you Alfred the Red. What brings you back here?
Success.
What have you brought me?
I've brought you much. Too much to produce in my 2 hands. Have you an office? A table I can set it all out on?
He rolls his eyes and then looks to his right and just kind of with his hands, he has his hands closed and he just opens them to do like a bang kind of emote with his hands, and a table just like appears in front of him, and when he does it again, and a chest forms, and then he kind of sweeps with his hand and the chest opens, and he says, there you go.
Perhaps that would have been something that would have frightened Duncan only a few days ago.
Yeah, the guards are looking kind of confused right now, but apparently I guess Alfred, they know Alfred does this, I guess.
Duncan places the silver bowl worth 10 gold pieces. Cut, and I'll just paste for your convenience. The golden bowl worth 15 gold pieces. The Necromancer's staff. Cut. And paste. And last but not least, the magical amethyst necklace.
You put that all on the table, and Alfred now looks over it, and he kind of, stops specifically on the staff and the necklace, and he says,
"Now this is intriguing. It seems you have brought me something quite valuable. And a deal is a deal, if I am going to make a deal."
and he now snaps his fingers as a book now appears in front of you, Duncan, and you catch it before it hits the ground. The book itself smells old. It is made of leather, or at least it has a leather back, and there are many pages to the book. And you look on the cover, and kind of embroidered into the leather, you see this very regal, powerful, broad-looking dragon with its wings spread, and standing before it, a warrior wielding a sword. And it says, well, actually, you can't read and write, can you?
I can't.
And you can't really figure out what is... Actually, roll me an intelligence check. How about that? You might spell it out slowly.
I can't read.
It looks fantastic. It looks like a great book. You just need somebody to read it to you.
Duncan puts it in his pack and says, "I would have further dealings with you."
It depends what you can offer me, young man. For my favor is not so easily bought. Is that understood?
Crystal. Duncan says, "I have information about what happened in the church."
What is that?
Duncan, leaning on the table, says, "First, my terms. Make me your agent. I will work as something of a black hand for the Mage's Tower. The one who does the work that no one else wants to. In return, I will tell you this. Agreed?" It is quite pressing information. Information that I was told by the highest authority not to go spreading.
Roll a charisma check. You have advantage because of that last sentence.
Well, I'll certainly try. It's 13.
I'm not sure. I agree.
And he puts out his hand.
Duncan goes on to explain all the events that transpired in the dungeon down below the church, including the details about the Necromancer, the apparent instability in the church, and answering to the best of his abilities any questions that Alfred may have.
He doesn't really have any questions after you kind of explain what's happened.
He says, Grandmaster will be very interested in it. Our agreement stands. Duncan, you will be my agent moving forward.
And his eyes now wander as it's very clear he's trying to think, right, of what to say and what he wants you to do. And he says,
Remain idle for now. I will call upon you before long.
And he smiles.
Duncan nods. Of course. You can find me at the Green Halberd. Until our next meeting, boss.
And he now steps forward once more and asks you to shake his hand.
Duncan will do so.
As you shake his hand, you feel a stinging sensation rushing from his hand into yours. And as you kind of instinctually pull away after finishing the handshake, you notice now that he's branded you with a mark, a sigil. And he smiles and says, "Welcome to the tower." And now he poofs. Disappears.
Duncan looks at the brand on his palm, I imagine.
Yeah, it is a glyph, an arcane glyph that he has detailed onto you. What it does, you don't know. But he is marked you, he has branded you.
As he turns, sort of chuckling to himself a bit, going to walk away, he says, "Well, that's not the first time something like that's happened," he says as he reaches over to the shoulder that he kept scratching when in the presence of the chaplain and touches the mark of Bane that is upon it.
Sexy. The rest of you guys are at the tavern. And the tavern keeper's giving you guys a drink. Because obviously you're very thirsty, you know? But you guys take your chest upstairs somewhere quiet. The tavern keeper tells you that much money here is very dangerous. You guys should really go to the bank and open up an account to put that money away.
I agree. That's probably a smart idea.
Yeah, that doesn't sound unwise.
It's very clear that like this isn't the nicest part of town, guys. And people did watch you walk in here with a chest full of gold. You know, you probably had like the top on, you know, not showing everything inside, but it's still you guys coming in with a chest that's jingle 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 jingle. Do you know what I mean? So it's pretty easy for people to tell what's inside.
It's like Norman kind of like, yeah, probably a good idea to go there. Well, can you give us directions there, barkeep?
He nods and he says, "It's on the eastern side of town, just north of the church."
Sick. Alright. Come on, Susan. And yeah, no, Norman starts straps her back up and starts making his way over there again.
Right, you guys can roll a d6 each. Duncan, are you heading back to the tavern?
What time of day is it?
It is late in the day now. Evening.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go back to the tavern for now.
Okay, I need 2d6 from you, Duncan, as you make your way back. Very good. You make your way back without any issues.
Oh, sorry, I just rolled 2d4. It's
Okay.
the same result.
Well, I do need a 2d6. It's very important it's a d6.
My apologies. There we go.
It's still the same kind of circumstances. But for one of you guys, you rolled a 1. So as you guys are moving through the busy streets of this large town, I mean, if it gets any bigger, it's going to become a small city, right? There's a lot of people here, a fair few thousand, I would say. Streets are quite packed up. Quite densely populated, right? And you're moving through, you know, with the camel and everything. You're being stopped by guards. There's traffic, but eventually, you guys now begin to approach your destination. At this moment, that you notice what appear to be kind of nefarious men and women, members of a gang, start eyeing you guys up. They're at a distance right now, but the streets around here don't really seem to have any guards, or at least not right now. What do you guys want to do? You're not too far away from the bank.
Hmm.
But if you want to get to the bank, you're going to have to go past them or around them.
Alright, I'd say let's try to go around them, but Norman's going to like take his shield off his back and put it on his arm and kind of like just let them know that he's eyeing them up. Let them know that he sees them.
Alright.
Yeah, I agree that going around would be wisest.
Alright, can I have each of you then please roll a dex check? As I assume you are stealthing. Okay. An interesting set of rolls. You guys now begin to move around. And it seems you've managed to avoid these men now. You arrive at the bank. Bank is just getting ready to close. Go in and speak to the teller. You are able to set up a bank account if you wish. It can be either a single account or it can be a joint account with all your names on it. I assume the latter is probably what you guys want. Unless you would like to, unless you would prefer to have individual accounts.
I think joint is fine.
Yeah, joint seems like a good idea.
So there is a transaction fee. There is a transaction fee in order to do the following things: withdrawals, currency exchange. I think those are the main ones. And also if you want money to be sent from one place to another, right? The fee is 10% of whatever you're looking to move or shift, but to actually deposit money, there is no fee. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'll give you a very quick example. If you want to take out 100 gold, then you will need to take out 110 gold, because 10 gold will be going to the bank for the transactional fee. But if you do this, your money is safe. It can't be robbed, it can't be stolen, and if you have enough of it, you can actually gain interest. Are you guys all comfortable with that, or would some of you guys prefer to keep the money on you and risk it for a biscuit?
Norman's gonna keep 50 gold pieces on him.
Okay.
I'm fine with depositing mine.
And you want it to be in a group account, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will set up a handout for the bank vault that you guys have. I think it is very useful to have like a joint space where you guys can kind of look at what's actually in the bank. I will have it be at the bottom of your characters, okay? And I will call it joint bank vault. And I will make it so you all are able to access it and you are all able to edit it. Okay?
Awesome.
So how much would you like to deposit? It's worth mentioning, guys, we are going to have a downtime before we end today's session, which is going to be very shortly. I assume that you guys are going to want to carouse or do some philanthropy or maybe try to study. What's the words? There's something else that you guys can do. Training. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Well,
it's learning. It's called learning. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody's depositing everything else here. I'm taking my 50 GP out of it. Or...
Yeah, to be fair, if you guys want to put your money in, then you can decide based on like what you have in the account, what you guys have personally, like what you want to do on the downtime. So how much are you putting in?
Well, I'm putting 150 of my share, and I'm keeping 50 of it.
Okay, rest of you guys.
It seems like we're going to deposit 750 unless there's any.
Yeah.
Yeah, 750
Yeah, I
gold.
still have enough regular gold, so I deposit my entire share.
Cool.
All right, sweet. Yeah. I think at this point here we should begin our return on over to the tavern.
Yeah, I like that. Well, for sake of purpose, guys, with you guys getting to the bank, I'm happy to kind of like call it there, and now have the aftermath, the downtime, and let you guys figure out what you guys want to do for that downtime. Are we all okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, very, very good. Let me put on some nice music now that you're back at the surface.
All right,
And-
we got a payday. It's time to get shit-faced.
Yeah, you guys have done well, and now you have the choice to do a couple of different things. The first is carousing, the second is philanthropy, the third is learning. Carousing, you guys already know. Philanthropy is like a different version of carousing, where it's more about like doing good things and like being like a virtuous person, helping the community, that kind of stuff. You're doing it out of the goodness of your heart rather than just getting shit-faced. But getting shit-faced is pretty fucking good, not gonna lie. The third option is learning, and to explain that, your character may wish to learn a new skill during downtime. In order to learn a new skill, you must find a capable instructor who is willing to teach you. You can't typically learn another class's or ancestry's unique talents, but you can learn auxiliary skills. Examples include a new language, how to ride a special animal, learning enables you to do new actions or gives you advantage on certain checks. So you can work with me to determine what you can try to learn. There will be a DC check. Unfortunately, it is typically intelligence, unless it's something where you can make an argument that it's a different skill, if that makes sense. Most of the time it's intelligence. If you fail, then you could try again on your next downtime, and the DC class will go down for each downtime that you attempt to learn it, if that makes sense.
Would it be possible to learn how to dual wield?
Dual wield. Oh, I'm gonna say no. Because Shadowdark was made intentionally with the idea that people weren't supposed to dual wield. I think what I will say, and this is probably going to make you quite excited, is even though that's the case, I would allow a fighter or a ranger to dual wield at a higher level.
Okay, all right, I'm cool with that. If that's the case, then Norman just wants to go and drink his wounds away.
Does that make sense to you? Because I'm thinking of it like the people who were really good at, like, who actually were known for dual wielding. These were like really capable swordsmen that were very talented.
Definitely. It's an extremely hard fucking skill to do full on with two swords. I mean, like, plenty of people did like sword and dagger, but even then that was like really fucking hard.
You have to be a very talented musketeer to do that. Yeah.
No, it's that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Norman is going to return to the tavern and start drinking. Does anyone want to pitch in for carousing here?
Yeah, I was planning on carousing.
Okay.
Well, I can contribute 10 gold.
So guys, carousing events, you're looking at probably these options. It'll be either 30 GP, 100 GP, or 300 GP for carousing. What are you thinking, Alistair?
I was I would be interested in trying out philanthropy, but if that works similarly to carousing, I think it would be best to put our money in one thing.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
Sorry, if I may. Alistair,
Yes.
you get a book about dragons.
That sounds awesome.
Duncan has no use for it. It was just a way of getting his foot in the door at the tower. You can have it.
In that case, I'm all in to have a couple of drinks with you. So I'll lend my coin to the carousing.
Your character sheets do have titles on them, don't they?
Yes.
Then
Yes.
I want Duncan to set his title as agent, please.
Well, that's better than what it was already.
Yeah, so philanthropy is it's quite similar to carousing. But it is pretty cool. But if you want to chip in towards carousing, that sounds good too. I mean, you got a lot from carousing last time, from what I remember. You got the contact that helped you get into the church.
Are we
Absolutely.
just gonna do? Are we just gonna do the 30 GP?
That's what you guys want to do. It's up
I
to
was gonna
you.
throw 100 towards it.
Oh, you were gonna put 100 towards it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell you what, you keep. I'll put 25 towards that 100 because I don't think we're gonna go to 300 gold pieces.
Yeah, I can chip in 25 as well.
Yeah. So if you want to do 50 or Duncan, do you want to pitch in 25 too?
I've only got 10.
All right. Well, I'll do 25. Alistair will do 25. You want to do 50 there, Isabel?
Sure. And I'll just pull that from the bank account.
Okay. You can edit it.
Sick.
You can edit it and make it 700. Okay, if that's the case, guys, you can each roll a d8. And because it's 100, you get a +1 to your d8.
Five. Let's see what that.
Okay, those are some good rolls.
9.
Whoa, okay. So starting us off with the lowest number, which is a 6. Norman, the Thieves Guild bilked you for 5% of your total wealth. So whatever your total wealth is,
Fuck's sake.
figure out what 10% is, and then figure out what half of that is, and mark that from your wealth.
Just what I'm carrying, or like even stuff in the bank account.
Oh, that's a good point. I'd say what you've got on you.
Yeah, I can't imagine it would be from the bank.
No. And just so you guys know, bilked means like cheated. You were cheated out of your money through deceit or fraud or something like that. You do gain 4 experience points. And I will say, guys, for all the treasure that you got from the Necromancer, you guys gained 5 experience points. So you guys can gain 5 from that. And then obviously, you specifically, Norman, you've gained 4, so that'll be 9 total for you. Okay?
Sounds good.
Next up is 2 8s. You survived a blindfolded knife throwing demonstration unscathed. I imagine with each other. Imagine there probably was a contest where people were blindfolded and told to throw knives towards each other, and there were boards behind. And you both did really well. You both survived it. You gain 4 experience points, and you each start off the next adventure or campaign with a luck point, a luck token.
Hey.
Awesome.
9. By talent or trickery, you beat a rival adventurer in a test of skill. I want you to roll me a D100. You roll a 1 to 50, it's by talent. If you roll a 51 to 100, it's by trickery. By talent. Very good. Which means that you've gained 5 experience points, Isabel, but you've also gained an NPC ally, who will actually be a genuine adventurer with class levels. I will very quickly have you roll a check to figure out what their class is and a couple of details, just so you can write down on your sheet who this person is. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second, I'm getting up a document for this. Alright. I would like you to roll me stage, NPC, nobles. Here we are. Is there any option where I can just roll for what class they are? Because that would be
There is a
fun.
random character generator in the
Uh-huh.
book, right?
Yeah,
the
it's
book?
I know it's at the back of the quick start guide.
Is it in the book?
There
I was
is
gonna use the D30 sandbox book and see if there was like an option. Oh, there is. There is. Okay, cool. Roll me. Actually, yeah, I'll roll it. Actually, I'll roll it. I'll keep it simple. D30, 28. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll again because apparently it's telling me to re-roll or roll on a weird chart. And I'm not really a fan of rolling on a weird chart.
Yeah, page 40 of the Shadowdark core book has random character tables.
Oh, cool. So you've actually befriended a magic user who is an elf. I want you to write that down on the sheet. What class they are? Maybe we should just fucking roll it and figure it out. I'll do a D2. 1 cleric, 2 wizard. Wizard. Elven wizards. Write down on your sheet. I'll start making use of them moving forward. Alright, other than that, guys, is there any treasure you need to get traded for actual, like, coin on your sheets?
I have that sword hilt from the last adventure. Fuck, I was meaning to ask the priests about that while we were there.
Did
Maybe
it have
I'll
a
come-
value?
Let's see here. I don't think it had a value. I think it might have been some sort of magic item that we were trying to appraise. It just says ornate sword hilt. I think Isabel originally had it and she gave it over to me.
Okay. Moving forward, guys, when I give you stuff, I usually give you a price. If I forget to give you a price, ask me for a price. Because otherwise, I have to kind of wing it. For sake of purpose, hold on to the sword hilt, because you can actually fix that onto a weapon and, I don't know, make it look cooler, you know? Master sword, shield, ivory set pieces. Roll me a charisma check for bartering.
Alrighty.
No, not you, Isabel. 10, 10, 25. Yeah, it's a really good roll. You get 50 gold pieces for all of that. You actually get more than what it's worth.
I'm just gonna put that back in the bank then, from what I
Sure,
spent
yeah.
on browsing.
You can edit it, tweak it. All right, good, very good. Anybody else need to sell anything?
I don't need to sell anything, but I did want to pick up my club from the blacksmith.
Then you're able to do so.
Mm.
The club has been finished.
Yes. Duncan thankfully accepts it, with the new spike put into its head.
Yep.
And here's where I ask you, Loki, if there are any benefits, what are they?
I wouldn't say that it's anything like super mechanical. I like the idea that now that you've got a spike in it, maybe you can come up with ways to make use of the spike, and your creative ideas will make way for interesting results. Does that make sense?
Fair enough.
So, like, if you need to puncture a hole in something, now you've got something to do that with, right? If there are certain creatures that seem to be able to soak bludgeoning damage, you now have a piercing alternative.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Very good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because I can't just keep making weapons more and more powerful for very little amounts of money.
Well, I paid a solid, like, 20 gold,
Yeah, that's not a lot in this game.
I suppose, yeah. Alright, that's all good.
But yeah, guys, so with that in mind, we are going to wrap things up here. I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you very much for all of you guys who've been watching the stream. They've just finished the adventure. We'll see what's going to happen next week, what direction the party are going to go in. Here's the map. Maybe we're going to go to one of the other settlements next week. We'll see. Thank you, guys.